and how to push it forward and get and push those G's a little bit, and what that felt like, and how to pull back. And so we went through that entire system, and he also told me about, if at any time we are in any type of danger whatsoever, just in case, I've got the stick as well, and I can correct it in a heartbeat. So there was that fear. I'll be honest with you. There was a part of me that was absolutely terrified of taking that stick. Absolutely terrified. The what-if scenario. We're coaches, Jeffrey, and you can already hear the mind, the silent argument going on inside of in our heads at that moment, saying, "What if you crash? What if you've got to pull the ripcord? What if you do this? What if you hit the wingman? Oh, you're not ready for this. You've got to train for this," and so on and so forth. And I remember saying, I may not get this opportunity ever again.
Right.
I'm taking the stick. So the main point number 3 is leaders develop others in their organization to take the stick. Because there are times when we're sick, we're ill, or we need to take our organization, our people, our families to different levels. And in order to do that, we've got to leave behind what we're familiar with to gain the ground that we need to get where we want to go. And we need to be able to trust that when we have to step away, there's somebody in place, and number 2, that can take the stick and keep the momentum going. And so that moment came, and I took the stick, and I did all of those things, up, down, left, right, moving it over this way. I didn't want to do any barrel rolls or any of that really crazy stuff. But, we accelerated, and we turned a little bit. And it was the thrill of a lifetime.
Oh, wow, I bet.
And I can remember in the pilot that I worked with, he was encouraging me the whole way, and then finally said, "Okay, I'm going to take the stick back," and he did. And I'll never forget the next statement he said. He said, "Okay, let's play." And so we ended up dogfighting with our wingman, and all I remember at that point was circles and going up and down and blurs and flashes because I couldn't see a thing. My head was just bobbing all over the place, like one of those head bobbing dolls on people's desks. My head was bobbing all over the place. Couldn't see anything, had no total bearing or anything like that. But what I learned at that same point when I took the stick is that I was trained to take the stick. And though I was feeling the fear, I did it anyway. And my leadership in front of me, who trained me, knew it, and he encouraged me to take the stick. And he willingly gave me the stick, and he was there. Because, here I am, I'm an enlisted guy. I may never get this again, and it's only a one-time deal. He gave me an experience of a lifetime, and he was also there to answer any of my questions, and he was also there when the time came to show me the way, and then when it was time to take it back. So what a leader learned here is the leader has to train somebody that they can trust to stick with when the time comes and they've got to step away from the stick for a seat. And at the same time, all of you that think yourselves not being a leader, you don't have the position, you don't have the title, you're just somebody in the organization, well, be that somebody that your leadership can give the stick to. And you need to be prepared at all times for that one opportunity of a lifetime to take the stick.
Wow, Dennis, what a rich story. Boy, I love this. And my mind was just racing as I was listening to everything you were sharing there. And I tell you, I got to say, I think the one thing that I identify most with of what you said when you got up there and he told you to take the stick was that you were scared to death. And it occurred to me I think that I'd have been right there with you. I think it occurred to me as you were sharing that, though, that often the journey of a lifetime, like you said, that was the experience of a lifetime. That journey of a lifetime starts with terror, right? And boy, it sure is good at those times to have somebody alongside that's farther down the road, that's got our back. They're not going to let us fall to our destruction. But then at the same time, they're going to give it to us and let us get some practice and let us keep developing. And, another thing you mentioned that I really loved, was about the parachutes and the people that pack those parachutes. And, there's real value in having a good team. Like you and I know, the law of significance says that one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Nobody ever does anything great on their own. And, And that sure is true. Boy, what would it be like if you got up there and did get in trouble and didn't have the team you needed that had packed your parachutes? So valuing those team members. And another thing you said kind of early on was that when you were in that mission training and you were looking at those papers, you had no idea what you were looking at, but the leader you were with, the pilot, did. And boy, how good it is while we're in the learning process to always have somebody along our side that's a little farther down the road that can help. But my goodness, I felt like I was kind of up there with you. But I tell you what, I get a little nauseous on the roller coaster at Busch Gardens or the local theme park. I don't know how I would have done up there, but what a story. And thank you so much for number one being willing to do that, and then to come and to share your story with us. But I wanted to ask you one other thing. You had we were talking before the show, and you had mentioned something about this contest, I guess it was, that got you to the point where you won the choice of going up in the F-16. There was something you mentioned to me about stepping up that I thought was very significant. Could you just give us a little bit of that backstory about what you did that got you to this point that, if you'd been maybe a little bit shyer, you wouldn't have ever had this experience?
Wow. So from the stepping up standpoint, the way that I won this experience was I was nominated as at the time as our number one airman of the quarterly award. And this quarterly award starts with your unit and goes all the way up to the base level. So we'll use a sports characteristic. It would be like being named offensive player of the month in the NFL. There's 28 teams, and you didn't break it up AFC, NFC, but just one player can be picked. So you've got 30 teams to choose from, and you only get to pick one player. Well, it's the same kind of process I had to go through to be named Airman of the Quarter for my entire base. And so I didn't normally like going up for those awards. I just wanted to go in, do the job, do it to the best of my ability, and that was it. But my leadership said, no, we want to put you in for this award, and it required not only just doing my job, but it also required meeting a board of leaders who were then to ask me questions about everything from my job to Air Force history to Air Force protocol and customs and courtesies and those things. And it was based off of my military bearing, and had to compete against my peers for that award all the way up until I was named number one in the entire wing of 5,000 airmen. So I didn't want to do it, and I didn't like being put up for it because to me, I'm just doing my job. I'm doing my part of the mission every day. That's what we do in the military. We raise our right hand, and we take an oath of enlistment, we volunteer, and we're here to volunteer and do our job and do it to the best of our ability to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's what I did. I wasn't there seeking awards or anything of that nature, but my leadership said, we're doing this, you're going into this, we want you into this, and I won that award, and so I had to step up to do that, and then on top of that, I could have turned down the aircraft. I know people that turned it down for some of the reasons you described, Jeff. Right. I get a little seasick on roller coasters. I mean, this is a jet that pulls 10 G-force.
Wow.
If you max it out. And I got to go 8.5, by the way. So 8.5 G.
I can't imagine.
And I couldn't wait. Yeah, I couldn't wait to do that. But at first, I didn't even want to be in the running. So to your point, where the journey of a lifetime starts with Byrd, the journey of lifetime starts when you say yes to the journey. I was saying no to this opportunity because I didn't want to go through the process of what it took to be in there. But deep down inside, did I want to fly in a jet? Absolutely, I wanted to. And so when I finally said yes and followed through, it actually, I had to go through that process 6 different times before I actually won the award.
Wow.
To be in there. It was a very stiff competition. And I had to go through 6 different quarters in order to be nominated 6 different times for that one moment where I actually won and got to fly in that aircraft.
Wow. Well, that's great. That's certainly a lesson in perseverance there too. But I'm so glad that you stepped up and that you persevered in that and that you got this awesome experience and these lessons to share with us. We're going to take a little break in just a second and then come back with some takeaways and some applications with Dennis. But I do want to take just a minute to thank you also for, even before this experience happened, for your 23 years of faithful service to our nation and all those people that make it up. I want to thank you very much for that, Dennis.
No, it was a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to serve. And I love my brothers and sisters in arms, and just a shout out to any of those that are listening, veterans or those that are currently serving active. I appreciate what you do and continue to serve with pride in those that have served already. Thank you for setting me and those that are in now for the success that we're having as a nation in our military. Your sacrifices are noted, and we always appreciate what you've done for us.
Boy, amen to that. I couldn't agree more. And so we're going to take a short break, but stay tuned. We're going to be right back, and we're going to be back with Dennis LaRue Jr., and we're going to have some takeaways for you.
Jeff will be back shortly to wrap up today's message. This is Gabriela, still on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. If you've missed any part of today's message, you can hear it again online, as well as the entire archive of Empowered Living at www.talknetworkradio.com or search keyword #Empowered Living. We would like to acknowledge our music partners, Sound Ideas for Corporate to the Max, and Kevin MacLeod for Airport Lounge. Any scriptures read during this broadcast are from the New American Standard Version of the Holy Bible. If you would like to learn more about Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, visit www.jeffbyrdcoaching.com. That is JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Do a Facebook search for @CoachingRocks or drop Jeff a line at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Again, JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Let Jeff's Coaching Rocks be the building blocks of your empowered success. Now, let's go back to Jeff for the rest of today's message.
And welcome back. I'm Jeff Byrd, and I'm on the line today with Dennis LaRue Jr., and he has been sharing with us about an extremely interesting as well as educational opportunity of a lifetime that he had to go up in an F-16. So if you're just now tuning in, I encourage you to go back and catch it from the beginning so you can hear his story. But Dennis, I want to go back to you and let you share some of the takeaways from this with our audience.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. We could spend shows on all the different takeaways that I got from this experience, but I'll share 5. I've got 5 takeaways that really stand out to me from this experience. And the very first takeaway is clear communication of the mission and objectives are critical. Leaders out there, coaches of 14 nonprofit organizations, churches, whatever your organization is, and you are a leader and there are people that you influence, it is absolutely critical that you clearly communicate the mission and the objectives to reach that mission. If I would have been given the stick to that aircraft just for takeoff alone, there's absolutely no way that jet would have gotten off the ground. No way. Because I wasn't trained in that. I didn't know that. I didn't know where we were going. But then my pilot, now he was never going to give me the stick to take off. Let's be serious here. But I was given the mission of, once we got in the air, what I was looking for as the co-pilot, as the navigator in the back seat, for determining the objectives that we had to reach for our mission to be accomplished, and how to read the scope, and how to look around the air, and how to read numbers on that scope. And so I was briefly trained and able to be a part of mission success for this training mission because my leader clearly communicated to me what the mission was, what the mission brief was, because I sat in that mission brief and had no clue what I heard. I understood a few words there every now and then, but I knew what the objectives were, and we had mission success. So